Hi, my name is Gina, and I want to tell you about a devastating disease that you've probably never heard of, epidermolysis bullosa, or EB. My goal in life is to make things better for people diagnosed with this disorder. Epidermolysis bullosa is a potentially life-threatening inherited blistering disease affecting as many as 50,000 Americans. That may sound like a lot, but in our population, the more severe forms of EB are rare enough that many healthcare practitioners have never seen a patient with it. Most may only vaguely remember hearing about it in med school. Individuals with EB often feel isolated because of the lack of knowledge about the disease and the impact that it has on the body. Depending on the subtype of EB, this disease can compromise almost every element of an affected human being, but most conspicuously their skin and mucous membranes. It affects both genders and every race and ethnicity throughout the world. Did you know that skin is the largest organ of the human body? Its proper function is vital to a human's healthy survival. When the skin's health is compromised, the consequences can be serious, even deadly. It's almost like the story of the Princess and the Pea, if you're familiar with that. People with EB have skin so delicate, so fragile, that the slightest bump, minor rubbing, friction, or shearing motion from day-to-day activities can cause terrible wounds and blisters. Damage can occur from eating, walking, writing, normal daily wear and tear, and even from the seams or tags in clothing. Think of a very ripe peach and how easily its skin is just rubbed away. EB skin is very similar. With this fragility in mind, some years ago, a nickname was conceived of for people with EB, butterfly children. But how do people get EB? Well, just like the curly or straight hair you inherited, they get it from their genes. With EB, the mutated gene causes the anchors to be lost between layers of the skin. Imagine grass without roots, and you're picturing something pretty close. Wound healing becomes impaired because of the missing anchors, and depending on the subtype, disfiguring scars and disabling deformities may occur. In severe forms of EB, something called mittening happens, in which hands and feet are encased in scar tissue from repeated damage, and arms and legs lose flexibility and draw up. The chronic wounds and blisters of EB are comparable to a second or third degree burn, only these recur spontaneously in a painful, never-ending cycle. For a great many, each day brings new wounds and blisters, hours and hours of bandage changes, and an ounce or more of vital fluids lost through wound seepage, which can contribute to malnutrition and dehydration. As of today, there's no cure for EB, and there are no effective treatments. All that can be done is to bandage and medicate affected portions of the body and protect areas likely to be injured. However, scientists have located the genes and proteins that are defective in EB, and progress has been made that shows promise for gene therapy. There are milder forms of EB, but even those are very intrusive on a person's life. For about 6 years, I've served as an advocate for the EB community. In the last 2 years, I and many others in the EB community worked very hard lobbying to get bills passed in the U.S. Congress and Senate to create a National Epidermolysis Bullosa Awareness Week in perpetuity. It all started with the family of a little girl who has EB, Grace Peshker, when they actively sought legislative sponsors for a really good cause. This special Awareness Week was passed to actively foster awareness and understanding about this genetic condition. If you know what EB is, you're in a better position to understand and maybe even help those diagnosed with it by putting your compassion in action. I've asked the two nonprofit charitable organizations, EB Medical Research Foundation and Deborah of America, to work in harmony with me to celebrate our first Awareness Week in a special way, and we've chosen to do so nationwide for 2007, our inaugural year. A website, www.ebrelay.org, has been launched to encourage everyone to come out and help us to meet our awareness goals. You are invited. The event is called Walk a Mile in My Shoes, Relay Rally. We truly want the American people to understand about EB and show your respect and support and compassion. Our advocacy team will have rallies at every destination stop all across America. Doctors, nurses, and scientists who are familiar with EB are doing their part for this campaign too. We'll be honoring those we have lost to EB and those we are fighting to help each and every day. The relay will begin in New York City on October 25th. the first day of National EB Awareness Week, and end at Stanford, California on October 31st. I will travel the entire 3,000 miles with an EB advocacy team, including other EB families. Participants can walk, run, cycle, wheel, drive, or traverse the route in whatever way you choose for any part of the journey at all to share awareness. The entire route will be posted on the website. Our coordinators will host rallies and press conferences at every destination stop. EB advocates are encouraged to host associated rallies and relays all across America. You can register on the website to receive information, and we'll keep you informed as we get closer to the event. Members of the media and corporate sponsors are encouraged to contact me through the website. We would love for you to help us reach out or even partner with us for this amazing journey. Please consider participating in the EB Relay and rallies for any part of the week's events from coast to coast. If you can't participate because of time constraints or because it's a geographical or physical impossibility, we don't want you to miss out, so we've provided some options. Through links at the website, you can make a donation directly to the nonprofit charities, buy event gear to raise awareness, check out the fundraising that you can do anywhere, or help us to take the relay online at Second Life for a cyber event. Our goal is simple. We seek to enlighten society and foster a greater understanding about EB. We hope more who are in the medical field and those entering a medical profession will avail themselves of the factual information provided by legitimate national nonprofits like EB Medical Research Foundation or Dystrophic Epidermolysis Bullosa Research Association of America. We could really use more doctors and nurses who are comfortable working with EB patients. Physicians familiar with EB suggest that this is by far one of the most painful, devastating conditions known to man. You can help spread the word about EB and help people who live with this singularly devastating genetic disorder. I have a very special young lady here named Tatum who has EB to help me finish up. She had a real brainstorm last year for Halloween. Instead of trick-or-treating for the usual candy, Tatum trick-or-treated for EB research donations and raised a whole lot of money, right? If she can do her part, I'll bet you can too. Mahatma Gandhi is quoted as saying, "You must be the change you want to see in the world." Isn't that the truth? If we don't step outside of our comfort zone, how can we expect anyone else to? And let me tell you, this video podcast is outside of my comfort zone. American anthropologist Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." We passed those bills in 2006, and we thank our legislators for their support. Now, it's all up to us and you. EB awareness is a very special cause. You lose nothing by spreading awareness, and people with EB gain so much. It's that easy for you to do something to help. This is my crusade, my commitment, and I appeal to you to get involved because together we can make a difference. Make this the day you tell others what you learned about EB. Send them to see this video and help change the course of history. Please come out and join us at the relay and rallies the last week of October 2007. Ready, Tatum? Mwah! Thank you.